Well, hello, everybody. It's I, the Big D. That's right, Big D coming to you live and in person in the back of his Transit T250. First of all, I ran great. I ran Monday through Friday. That's right, 5 days. Monday through Friday. I'm going to go over my loads and everything. But first, I want you to subscribe to this channel, the No Bullshit channel. I'm going to tell you the way it is. 2, like the channel. And 3, share this channel. This is Big D saying, let's educate you on how to make some monies. And I'm also going to slam a expediter. He's new. He was talking about a dry run. And after I tell you this story and show you a trick, see, there's going to be some tricks I'm going to show you. It's going to be good for expediting and courier driving in vans when you run into certain situations. Being he's a newbie, he's 6 months with Baird, I guess, and failed there. And now he's out with another company. And I will give you my opinion on what's going to happen with him here in a second based on his last video. But, if you're going to tell people and try to teach people and educate people, how about knowing it yourself? Oh, shocking. I want a teacher who actually knows what he's doing. Someone who's actually made some monies. He's talking about his great rates. Well, yeah, I get good rates too. Hell, I drove 2 miles one time for $100. 2. That was a week or so ago. And a small Chevy City Express. Yeah. So, look. You can be bullshitted easy. And he sits there. But he made a thing about one he did a dry run on. He was mad as hell because the freight was an inch too tall. He's in a Transit. Now, I'm going to show you something about a Transit van that he doesn't know, and you're about to find out. Up here, see those? That's the door latch lock. That's where these doors shut on those. They sit down from the ceiling 2.5 inches underneath that plastic covering over those. And you can take those off. You don't even need them, but you can pop them off. But there's 2 Torx. Carry a socket wrench and extension. Take the 2 Torx out on each side and take them down. You gain 2.5 inches. I'll show you. I'm going to show you what it's like. Come on. This tape measure does not lock. It's the problem I'm having. It could lock in place. But if I can get this where you can actually see it. Da-da-da. Two and a half inches. But you taking those off. That's right. Just take them off. You'd have gained 2.5 inches. You only need 1. You're 1.5 inches good. It slides in, and the ceiling goes up. Freight fits. Ta-da! I just saved you a problem. You wouldn't have to sit there all day for 6 hours or whatever it was you talked about and cry and whine like a baby, and because you didn't have enough sense to take the damn things off. There they are, folks. They're right there. Right there. Just take them off. If it's too high and you need another inch or 2, remove them. Freight slides in. Takes 5 minutes. Bolt them back up, and away you go. Just that simple. Or if your freight is too wide for your wheel wells, okay? Well, I got the height. I don't have a problem with the height. I just can't get it between the 2 wheel wells. The skid is too big. I don't know if you're seeing the wheel wells or not, but I need that extra space. How do I do it? And Alan did a video just recently, and he showed you how you do it. You stack skids in the middle, raise it up over the wheel wells, and put your freight in on top of it. And away you go. Just that easy. Okay? You don't have to sit there and cry and whine and say, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. Life as we know it is ended. And I can't get the freight because my van's not big enough. It's 1 inch high. Take those off. I've done it before. Alan's done it before. You just take those 2 things off and put the freight in, and then you just bolt them back on. It takes 5 freaking minutes. 5. Instead of sitting there for days on end, take your 5 minutes, and you're good to go. Just that simple. Now, the reason I don't think the guy's going to last long is he's complaining and crying a lot to his carrier. Yeah, that's not going to get him good. He's not doing a lot of miles. He's not making a ton of money. But he is complaining a lot, I can tell you. You know, it's like, you know, he's saying that this 3-hour job took 8 hours. Misleading? Not true. I'll prove it. He got the load at 8 o'clock, roughly. It's a 9:45 pickup. Let's just say 10. There's 2 hours right there that he went over there and sat. He didn't have to. If your load picks up at 10 o'clock or 8:40 or 10:45 or whatever it is, 10:45, and you go early and you have to sit, that's on you. That's right. That is on you. Why? Because it's an 8:40 or a 10:45 pickup. So if you go before 10:45, you go at 9:45, and you sit there an hour and you say, well, gee, you know, I got the load at 8, and so, you know, basically, there's only 15 minutes for me, so I ran down there and sat. Well, I should get paid for that. Well, I don't get paid for that because I you know, it's this and that, but that load took me all this time. That load didn't take you all the time. You went down there. You could have stayed in bed. That's right. If you make the decision to go early and you don't get it, that's on you. Now, you can't sit there and whine and cry about it and say, gee, this load took all this time, and count those hours, because you're the one that made the decision to do it. Back in the van. Get my headset on right. And this is the problem I have with people out here. They cry and whine, squall, and I think I should get more for the dry run. And I called the company up and told them I wasn't happy with this. And you're doing little shorties in a very local area. You're not making your carrier any money. Keep bitching when you're new and see what happens to you. You'll get this call from your carrier, and it's just not working out. It's just not working out. We're just going to have to part ways. That's what's coming. So when you get out here on the road and you run into these situations, these are normal. But learn some tricks to get around it. If you do, you get more freight, you're less frustrated, and you drive and make monies. Now, this week, I ran, like I said, my full week. And I did my first load came out of Kentucky. It was about 50 miles from me. And I went to, where did I go? Nope. That one got paid on the last pay period. So I'm going to go with this pay period. Would have been out of Fairfield. Went down to Smyrna, Tennessee. It's south of Nashville. And it's about 310 miles. And paid pretty good too. And then I went from there to picked up in Nashville, went to basically Macon, Georgia. And then from there I picked up in Lithia Springs, Georgia, and went to Aberdeen, Maryland, which is north of Baltimore, in case you're wondering. And Lithia Springs is Atlanta. And York, PA, to Baldwin, Michigan, which is up in the northern peninsula. And from about 50 miles from there, I went from Ithaca, Michigan, to Florence, Kentucky to come home. That made me about $2,500. I didn't work hard. I just made $2,500, just normal driving. Just took it easy. Drove along, not rushed or anything. That's right, folks. You make money out here. And you can too. But don't listen to YouTubers who don't have a clue. And I made $289 clear this week. And you're going to teach other people how to do that? What are you, nuts? And this is what this guy does. I mean, he's getting some followers behind him, and they're telling him, "Oh, mate, I cleared $289, and well, you know, it wasn't the greatest week." Well, yeah, no kidding. Try working. See, Alan basically did a video on privileged drivers, and a lot of truth to the statement of, if you're not willing to work, why are you coming out here? You're not going to make money unless you run. I mean, basically, I heard him say in one of his videos, you know, I basically told the office I don't want any more runs tonight. I'm just going to get my 8 hours sleep. And yeah, let me tell you how some of these went for me. I picked up Nashville, drove down, dropped off, headed to Atlanta. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I got the load going straight to north of Baltimore. I got there at 5 in the morning and delivered at 5. Went to sleep. 5 hours later, 50-mile drive, going to Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Well, I didn't get my 8 hours sleep. No, I didn't. But you know what? I was moving. Got over there, dropped off at, well, I got there at 1. They didn't unload till 6. 5 hours, drove over towards Grand Rapids. Got another hour of sleep, so I had 5 hours sleep. Got this when I came home. If you're going to put, limitations on the fact that, I got to get 8 hours sleep here, I got to, jacuzzi and booze, sauna baths, and all that crap. I mean, come on, folks. You're not going to make money out of here. Let's get real. You're going to have to realize the people who make money are the people who are available. I actually knew this. This is a true story. I had a driver. He worked for Barrett. Now, Barrett there's a few things about Barrett I don't like, and here's one of them. They'll send 6 trucks into Atlanta, all within hours of each other. It's a parade coming in. 6. First one in is the first one out. So if you get in 15 minutes after the first driver, you're second out. Well, if you're moving 1 unit out a day, and you got there at 7 a.m. in the morning because you drove all night, and there's 5 in front of you, or 6, why did you put yourself out of service? Oh, I wanted to get some sleep. Well, they're getting 1 or 2 out a day. You got a day or 2 ahead of you. Don't worry about it. Chances are you're going to get plenty of sleep. Go to bed. You're not going to hear from them. 99.9% of the chances of you hearing from them is nil. But no, he called and put himself out of service because he needed his beauty rest. And well, when he did that, 2 other vans came in and got in front of him. So instead of being 6 out, he was 8 out, and he was complaining. Well, you're the idiot who called and told him to take you out of service. You need to get some sleep. You got that many people in front of you. Well, guess what? You're not getting out in a hurry, so don't worry about it. That's a rookie mistake. The other rookie mistake is go to a pickup early. They're not going to have it ready. Go back out to your van, take a nap. It's early in the morning. Go to sleep. That's right. Go take a nap. Give them your phone number. Tell them to call you when it's ready. Tell your dispatch you're in the van. They're going to call you when it's ready and go to sleep. Ta-da! But if you think you're going to call the carrier up and tell them you don't like this, you don't like that, and you ain't then, when you're not running hard, and you're not making them a lot of money, you can expect the call coming in saying, just this isn't working out with us. And that's what's going to happen. And he doesn't even know it. That's the scary part. So when it happens, I will let you know when that happens, because I don't see it too far off in the future before he's cut loose. The reason being, you're too big of a, you're too much effort to work with. You're gonna have to, understand that, basically speaking, things aren't always gonna go the way you want them. There you go. They ain't gonna always go the way you want them. That's the way it is. You're going to get lucky and get pickups early, and you're going to get lucky and you're going to get unlucky and have to sit. I sat at LAX airport one time for 36 hours. I got paid for it, but I sat there for 36 hours. Now, you can bitch, yell, and scream and cry and bawl all you want, but you still sit there for 36 hours. So if it makes you feel better, great. But don't go around blaming everybody except yourself. If you go in there early and it's not ready and you count those hours as, I was detained and all that. No, you weren't. It's a 10 o'clock pickup. You got it at 8, let's say. You got 2 hours. Well, guess what? Go get breakfast, fill up your tank, take a nap, do whatever you want. But if you go on site and it's not ready, don't blame them. You're early. You're right. You don't get paid till after the first hour. It's 2 hours to be exact. First 2 hours is free to the shipper. It's also 2 hours free to the receiver. In other words, you get in there, They got 2 hours to load you before you can even think about getting anything extra, and they get 2 hours to unload you before you even think to get anything extra. There you go. But the crime ball squall about it doesn't do any good. It doesn't make you look really professional. Okay? And this just 3-hour job took 8 hours. Well, the 3-hour job would have taken 5 or 6, which is bad enough. But if you get paid, $50 or whatever it is to have sat there, then that's the way it is. Not everything is going to go perfect every time. My loads, I walked in, they threw them on. I was early at every one of them. Loaded me up, and away we went. The last one, I had to wait 30 minutes. Worst things have happened in my life, folks. 30 minutes. But they got it loaded. It was 4 boxes. It weighed probably 50 pounds the most. 4 little boxes. I strapped them down, and away I went. Got there. Don't even bother with the forklift. I just lifted them up on the docks. Heck with it. I'm not wasting my time for them to get a forklift. I just set them up there and they signed and I left. You're going to make this job as difficult or as easy as you want. But don't take advice from people who don't have a clue, like I showed you on that. Take them down, put the freight in and go. Had he had experience, he'd have known to do this. He didn't. Which is why I tell you, don't listen to people who don't know what they're doing out here and didn't make money. It's easy to fail. Most people do. Believe it or not, fail coming out here. Why? They watch videos of people who failed. Shocking. And they failed too. They taught you how to fail. Pay attention to who you listen to out here on the road. Make sure they actually know what they're doing. Make sure they can prove it too. This is Big D saying, let's go make some monies together. You don't have to be a fool. If you knew that little trick, and you should have already carried that torque with you. I could probably find it and tell you what size it is. It's in here on one of these side things, the ratchet. That I can reach over there and grab it at any time and just go back there and crank it off if I need to. And that's why you have to be prepared out here. Because if you're not, you're going to get there and go, Don't be that, Just crank them down, slide it in, crank them back up, and you're gone. Just that 5 minutes. That's all it would have taken. 4 of those torques. Come down, pop them off, set them on the floorboard in the front so you know where it's at. When you get to the other place, you have to put them back on. When you get to the other place, you take them off, put them on the floorboard so they don't get lost. Get the freight out, put them back on. This had never happened. Serpro came and took them off, put them back on. Poof, done. Just way that. Big D saying, let's go make some monies.